plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is an absolute masterpiece for Nintendo Switch. In fact, I've been trying to 100% the game while the sequel comes around, and it hasn't been easy. In fact, Mario plus Rabbids is one of the best games in the Switch in my opinion, and the fact that Rabbids crossover with Mario doesn't bother me at all. And if you really play this game, you may realize that it has something called Versus Mode. Funny thing, this was not always in the game, this got added on 2017. And well, my friend, today I would like to explain the genius behind Mario plus Rabbids Versus Mode. So let's begin this battle. First of all, when entering into this mode, you're greeted to this screen, which basically tells you very simple things. First says, welcome to Super Brawl. Then it explains you what you do, something about the characters, and the mechanics exclusive to the mode. But first, let's talk about the characters and the basics. Firstly, the characters we have are Mario, Rabbid Peach, Rabbid Luigi, Luigi, Rabbid Mario, Peach, Rabbid Yoshi, and Yoshi. And you can pick 3 out of the 8. You can also repeat, so there can be doubles. Don't worry about that. So your opponent can pick Mario, and you can also pick Mario. So, yeah. And each character has 3 sets, which changes things like their abilities, weapons, damage, and that jazz. Each person can do 3 actions, which can be related to moving, shooting, or using the abilities. After that, the other person goes. And it's a wild game mode, because on one turn a person could just win. It has happened to me before. And some characters are just OP. The game gives you a pair of weapons that you can't change. So what you see is what you get. Now, a strategy was very important in the base game, and here is more than essential, as you can only do 3 actions. So that is for the characters. Now let's talk about the base game, because a lot of things seen here are seen there, and vice versa. For example, in the base game you have an upgrade system. In versus mode, there's a set system. And there's not a lot of talk about the base game because your experience on the base game is only at 20% of the things you'll use on versus mode. So let's talk about the mode itself now. There's 4 maps you can play on: grass, desert, mansion, and lava, based on the worlds from the base game. And then you can pick certain conditions, like turn length, items, and some mechanics to discuss right about now. Those mechanics are items, showtime, and action tickets. But now you may be wondering, which are those items? Well, there's extra move, which allows you to move 1 time without spending an action ticket. Same can be said about extra attack and extra technique, which just lets you do one of those things without using the tickets. Then there's cooldown reset that makes abilities have an instant wall reset. Super cleanser just removes all effects from weapons, like vampire, ice. Then we have the mushroom that restores 50 HP. Then the mover booster, which allows you to move 3 cells and do 50% more damage, with things like dash, damage boost that increases weapon damages by 100%. Yes, you heard me right, 100% increase, which not all OP. And speaking of OP, Rainbow Shield that blocks all damage at 100%. Then Super Effect and Triple Threat that gives 3 actions, so it basically gives you a turn with just 1 character. A last Super Guarantee, which grants Super Effect attacks 100% of the times. And those are the items. And when the showtime mechanic kicks in, certain items appear. And those are the mushroom, the mover booster, the rainbow shield, the triple threat, and the super guarantee. And after showtime, everything goes insane. Now there are some mechanics I want to talk about, which are like 2, both seen in the same map. You are seeing right now. One of those mechanics are a jump pad that lets you do a team jump without a teammate, and then you can even do a team jump with a teammate or with another jump pad. So you can jump as many times as you want. It's amazing. And the second one are these tubes that open after showtime, which I think it's a fun mechanic. Now let's talk about sets. Each character has a unique set that can change their damage and buff or nerf something else. There's different 2 for each character, and the default is called All Purpose. Now I don't want to sound like a broken record, but planning and strategies are essential in this game mode. Maybe if I combine the defensive Peach set with explosive Mario, that way he will survive for longer. Things like that are needed. The objective of the mode is simply take your opponent down, but really you need to have 3 things in your favor: good characters, luck with items, and super effects. Maybe because you hit your opponent with the ink effect and now they can shoot you, you have a small advantage in the game. But if you don't play with items, then you're missing on. But it's fine, and understandable. You also need to keep a distance between you and your opponent, and you also need to know his character in order to win. For example, if he's playing a Rabbids Mario, Peach, and Yoshi combo, you need to stay far away from and play characters like Rabbids, Peach, Luigi, or Rabbid Luigi. You need to know certain playstyles of the characters and your opponent. And on your own, you need to make your own playstyles to come out as a winner. And also know the maps. Some are smaller than others. My go-to team is Rabbid Luigi, Yoshi, and Rabbid Mario, or Peach. You may be wondering why. And just to make some time, I'll explain. Rabbid Luigi is a great character in the base game that loses a lot of abilities on the versus mode, but he's still amazing. He still has a shield that blocks super effects, he still has a great weapon with the vampire effect, and he still has great movement. Rabbid Mario is the same as Luigi, and he needs to play more aggressive, and even with only 3 actions you can still do a lot. Peach is a more defensive character to protect the others and try to steer near them, and she's a great healer and supporting character. And Yoshi, my guy, he's a little bomb. He can do up to 120 damage, killing Luigi in a fraction of a second. You see, Yoshi normally has a 30 damage dash, and then he has explosion team jump that does 40, so that's 70 damage. And you can still do 2 actions. Yoshi has 2 great abilities. Egg Beater, that whenever your opponent moves, he can shoot them, and something similar to Super Guarantee, because he's gonna hit the super effect no matter what. So you can do, in theory, up to 160 damage on one move, which is just insane. Now let me show you my tier list. And I've already explained myself, so yeah. And if you don't play the game, you'll understand it better. Now, I don't really know what else to talk about. I've talked about the items, maps, characters, the strategies, what the sets are, mechanics, and pretty much there is to cover. But Versus Mode has a huge problem, and that is called no online function. You see, Versus Mode is a fully local competitive mode, and there's no way to play it online, and there's nothing that could help. So if you find a way, comment down below, because I would really like to play it with someone. And that's what Versus Mode on Mario Rabbids is. It's a pretty balanced mode. It's a pretty balanced mode with fun mechanics, and it's overall a great time. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. This is the Gamer Ghost, and I say hype for Sparks of Hope!